This is Devon Bankston. You're going to be taking on James Clark, and we had just talked with him a little bit about the fights. Both of you pretty confident coming into the fights. Yourself on a 4-fight win streak. So, we talked with James about what goes into a winning streak, what goes into, is there something that you kind of carry over from past fights? What do you learn about yourself when you're on these winning streaks, or is there something that's kind of just like it happened to come that way?
Well, it happened to come that way. You just work hard every training camp, so you can lose and learn something, you can win and learn something. You do something bad in your last fight, but you still won. You learn from that and you take it to your camp and you work on that. Make sure that don't happen in the fight.
And we were talking a little bit about the underdog mentality, and we were kind of looking back on some of your past fights. And Michael Parker was the last fight you had, and you were, according to people online, looking at like a huge underdog in that fight, but you came out and won. And it looks like those same people are saying you're underdog here tonight. So, is that something that kind of like adds a chip on your shoulder? Is there kind of like how do you, if that is something you feel like you need to shut out, how do you block that stuff out?
By winning. Simple as that. Just by winning. I'm underdog. All right. Show me I'm underdog. Period.
All right, I appreciate that. We are going to have to, we'll hopefully talk to you after the fight, and appreciate you taking the time, and good luck tonight.
All right, we have made it now to our 10th fight of the night, and it is our first title fight of the evening. Devin Bankston is the challenger if he's going to be taking on James Clark. Bankston with a record of 5-1. He has won 4 in a row. Clark will enter the cage with a record of 9-1. He is the champ. He has won 5 bouts in a row, and we have 2 highly ranked fighters. We are going to talk about that as this fight goes on. It is a 3-round fight, I am being told. I know some of these can be 5 rounds, but Chris is telling me right now that's going to be a 3-round fight is what we are scheduled for between Bankston and Clark. As you take a look at the Carbon World Health tail of the tape. All right, that's the challenger. Let's take a look at our champion, James Clark.
We got James Clark here. He's going to be defending the amateur featherweight title against Devondrick Bankston here tonight. So, you won that fight. You also won the lightweight title. So you're a guy who's kind of been able to do it all at different weights. We talked a little bit before about your ability to win by the knockout, ability to win by submission, a lot of jiu-jitsu training. So which way do you think you're going to lean tonight in your fight?
When I go into fights, man, there's always a general game plan to follow, but I take whatever they give me. I'm confident with wherever the fight goes. If he takes it to the ground, I'm going to win it on the ground. If it stays standing, I'm going to win that stand-up battle. I like to think to myself, I'm the dictator of the fight, and I think I've always proven to do that. I'm the shot caller. If I want the fight on the ground, I'll take it to the ground. If I want the fight standing, it'll stay standing because nobody's taking me down, and nobody's knocking me out, and nobody's ever submitted me either.
Well, I like the confidence in you seem to remember a lot of your fights now, if I'm not mistaken, 5-fight win streak, but what goes into that? Is there something that kind of clicks for you when you're in a momentum like that? Is there kind of like, well, if I have fights every few months, it keeps me motivated and refreshed and kind of up to date with all my training, or what goes into building up a streak like that?
Well, living in Wisconsin, man, we got like a 6.5-month winter. That makes it easy to be serious for a while. I like to put in work, and I like to make some money, and I like to get some fans and get some momentum going, and then I like to party all summer. But so I just I like building momentum, and I like gaining more and more comfortable every single time I step into the cage. At this point, being in that cage is a second nature to me. There's nothing uncomfortable for me. It's just another day at the office, and I'm ready to hit somebody. So,
all right, James, just don't hit me. We'll hopefully talk to you after the fight, and good luck tonight. Appreciate you taking the time.
The chosen few champion at 145 pounds, James Conrad Clark, with a record of 9-1, making a title defense here tonight. As you take a look at the belt that is up for grabs, being prominently displayed by one of our lovely ring ladies here this evening. As we're waiting for Clark to emerge, and here he comes. And again, with a record of 9-1, and on a 5-bout winning streak as well. Clark is ranked as the number 2 fighter in Wisconsin in his weight class, number 7 in the entire Midwest out of 1,256 fighters that are fighting at 145 pounds. Definitely impressive as he is putting that strap up for grabs here tonight against the challenger Devin Bankston. Let's go to the ring and Chris Garrity.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. This next bout features 3 rounds for the amateur chosen few fighting championships featherweight belt. Introducing first, this man fighting out of the Coliseum bar, red corner. He stands at 5'6" tall. He weighs at 145 ready pounds. He hails from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and represents Red Schaefer Mixed Martial Arts. He has an impressive amateur record, 6 bouts, 6 victories, only 1 defeat. Ladies and gentlemen, 4 submissions, your challenger, Devin Bankston. His opponent is this man, fighting out of the Harley-Davidson of Madison, blue corner. He stands at a 5'8" tall, weighing at 145 pounds. He represents Serrano Combat Sports and hails from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Another impressive record, 10 bouts, 9 victories, 2 submissions. He is the reigning, the defending, the undisputed amateur featherweight champion, James Conrad Clark. And your referee in charge of this bout, Tom DeMellis.
All right, gentlemen, there was no questions. Touch gloves. Bench corner for your fight.
Nice job by Chris Garrity getting everyone pumped up for this fight. The capacity crowd at Monona Terrace has been standing. They have been encroaching on the cage. Everybody is pumped up for this fight tonight, and here we go. Our first of 3 title fights here this evening. Clark against Bankston. Both guys highly ranked in the state of Wisconsin. According to Tapology, Bankston number 3 in Wisconsin, Clark number 2. This is a big matchup here for the featherweight title.
A lot of confidence from both of these guys if you talk to them before the fight. And that's why, because both guys have that type of power.
And Bankston dropping Clark early on in this one, and now trying to gain top control early on here in the first round of this fight. And boy, oh boy, this is one that a lot of people have been looking forward to all night long, as 2 highly ranked guys going for the championship.
Big right hand, put James on his back. Now James, though, is looking to set in a submission, trying to go for the armbar here, Gerald.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that hurt him. James Clark coming from a wrestling background, willing to pull guard to go up on him.
And
there
that's
he gets
it. He
the
got it.
armbar.
He's able to twist
Look
him.
at that.
And look at that early on here in the first round. James Clark gets the submission on the armbar. He defends his title, improves to 10-1, and remains the featherweight amateur champion here in the chosen few. Wow, a quick submission victory for Clark. We will come back with the official word right after this on 57 Sports. And maybe quite a surprising result. Not surprising that Clark won, but surprising at the quickness of the victories. You check out the armbar here, Gerald. He was able to get it in, and much to your surprise as well, didn't look like he was in the right spot to do it.
Yeah, he must have just turned the wrist the right way, got the elbow to bend the opposite direction, and got the tap. You know, just.
And there it is, Clark holding up his belt, and the winner here tonight by the armbar. Let's go to Chris Garrity.
2 straps here in Madison. This one, you took a big overhand right that put you on your butt, but you didn't panic. You came back and secured the armbar when he turned the wrong way. Tell us what you're feeling right now. Take your mouthpiece out for me, bud. Tell me how you're feeling right now.
You know what? I'll tell you right now, it feels good to get hit. There's a lot of times I come into a fight nervous because nobody's really ever hit me. I've never been hurt before in a fight. So I want to thank Devon for that overhand right. I'm only going to be more confident now. Not only that, but I got another first round submission. I got 4 first round finishes, 1 by knockout. I'm going to keep working on these hands. I'm going to show you guys that I can win this fight anywhere, whether it's on the feet, whether it's on the ground. Man, I'm the champ. I'm going places. Follow me now. Believe me now.
Ladies and gentlemen, your chosen few featherweight amateur champion, James Conrad Clark.
Good stuff here at Chosen Few Fighting Championships number 11. Don't go anywhere. You are going to see another title fight next. Alex Easy Polizzi coming up, one of our favorites here on 57 Sports.
James Clark, keeping your title, both titles. You have a lightweight and you have a featherweight title. You were defending the featherweight here tonight against Mr. Bankston, and you came into the fight. You took quite a devastating hit, and then you came back and ended up getting the win by submission in the first minute of the fight. Yeah. So talk about that process. How do you go from regrouping to then getting yourself in position? I mean, you got to think probably like 3 steps ahead.
Yeah, well, I've been working a lot with new boxing coaches. So, sometimes it's not maybe the best idea to change game plan too much, a month before the fight. And MMA is a little bit different than boxing as far as striking goes. But I also wasn't expecting him to, throw hands with me too much. He didn't look like a guy who wanted to stand up, so I was going to test my striking more with him tonight, take it to the ground only if I needed to. Turns out he caught me with the overhand right. I'm thankful for that. I've never really been hit real hard before, so now I can go into more fights more confident, knowing that I can take a hit and I can finish fights. Got him on the ground. I took his arm. He defended the arm bar. Transitioned to go-go plata, back to belly down arm bar. I'm just, I never leave killer instinct. So
yeah. Congratulations on defending the title, and also we look forward to seeing you whenever we see you. And good luck.